Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Your Real Estate Show with thanks to Harcourts Tasmania. I'm Rachel Williams. We've got a big show for you tonight, from interest rates to the latest on the rental property market, and also a comprehensive look at what's happening across the beautiful region of the Meander Valley. But tonight we start with a feature property at Longford which seamlessly blends heritage with modern luxe luxury.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for having me here in beautiful Longford. It certainly didn't take very long to get here.
No.
You've always gone through Perth.
I know, only what, 10 or 15 minutes at the max, obviously really close to the airport and Devonport as well as Launceston, but so the location is amazing.
And I'm looking forward to looking through this beautiful home. But quickly tell me, Longford, it's really gone ahead over the last few years, hasn't it?
Completely. So we've seen growth here in Longford about 16% year on year, which is quite attractive. Unfortunately, we don't see enough properties moving out here because people do like to hold on to them due to the history and things like that in the area as well.
Well, I can see that this house is one of the most historic houses in Longford.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So one of the original parts of the house was built in 1834. The remainder of the property was actually built in 1911 and recently has been renovated from top to toe.
Well, I'm looking forward to what I hear is a pretty special renovation.
Yes, come in and have a look.
Thank you. Let's go. Beautiful home is full of the most amazing antique furniture, and the owner has actually said that if you like any of the pieces, you're more than willing to buy them and they can stay with the house. Feel a lot of creativity coming on in this beautiful office space, which is actually one of the 5 bedrooms in the house. This is one of the 2 bathrooms in this house. It's simply stunning. Beautiful tiles. I love the textures. I love the natural light that's coming in. I love the bath size. It's one of the best I've seen. Wow, look at the thickness of these walls. This is actually the oldest room in the house, built in 1834, but look at how modern this extension is. Beautiful dolomite stone bench tops, one of only a few in the state. It was featured on the block this season, so you're totally on trend. It's pretty special. Well, it's meant to be summer, it may as well be winter, and how cosy would it be curled up in front of this beautiful wood fire with the cat relaxing by your side. Kelly, the most beautiful property. I could imagine sitting out here in the sunshine, having
absolutely.
a wine, celebrating the success of purchasing such a beautiful property.
Yes, absolutely. So the property has just gone to market right now. Best offers over $629. We are actually getting multiple offers as well on the majority of our properties in the market at the moment. So if you are keen, I would be quick. I would go straight to the Harcourts Launceston website, have a look and get your offer in.
Sounds wonderful. I bet you will be inundated. Thanks for your time today, Kelly.
Thank you.
Well, yesterday, the Reserve Bank of Australia kept the official cash rate on hold at the historic low level of 0.1%. What does that mean for the average punter out there in real estate world? We're joined by Jessie Medwin from V Financial to explain it. Jessie, not a surprise that the interest rate was kept at that really historic low.
Not at all. Not at all. This year's been, a roller coaster for everyone, inside and outside of property, and the Reserve Bank holding that rate down was exactly what we were expecting.
Yeah, and obviously we're trying to rebuild after COVID and the Melbourne Cup Day rate cut. Have banks passed on that cut from November?
Look, we've seen a lot of competition out there at the moment. Lenders, I think, have been probably a little bit sneaky. They've introduced a lot of really low fixed rates, which is generally an indication that they're tipping that things are probably going to come down a little bit further in the near future. Not a lot of movement in the variable space. There is a number of pretty good introductory rate products in that market segment there at the moment, where lenders are just trying to get one up on the next guy, and a lot of cashback incentives where they're trying, I think, to buy some business there without necessarily advocating the fact that their variable rates haven't actually reduced in line with what the RBA did.
And how low are those fixed rates going?
Look, we're seeing stuff, and certainly never in my lifetime, and in a lot of others, I don't think we'll see it again, but we're down. I've got some options there as far as 1.89% for a 4-year fixed, or in a best case for a variable rate product down at sort of 2.19%, which is...
And knowing that potentially it might cut further and will certainly stay where it is for a while anyway, are you suggesting fixing it?
Look, if we had a crystal ball, none of us would probably borrow money. We'd win it on Saturday night. But look, if you read the play as far as what lenders' attitudes and approaches to their products are, if they're introducing rates as low as that for such a long period of time as a fixed product, it's generally an indication that they're thinking that the rate or the official rate or they're going to be pressured to drop their variable rates below what the fixed rate is. So,
and how has COVID actually had an impact on the finance sector as a whole, given people working from home and the challenges of people actually borrowing money at the moment?
It's been a really dynamic year in the lending space. We've had lenders moving policies almost on a daily basis. There's been a lot of credit policy that's certainly not being published by lenders. By that we mean that they're changing their rules internally, not making it widely known to us and to a lot of the general public certainly. But a lot of policy changes around self-employed applicants. Previously self-employed. We're looking historically at how a business performs, so looking at most recent couple of years in most instances. Since COVID, lenders now want to see how the business was performing prior to COVID, as in first quarter of this calendar year, and now since COVID, and just sort of seeing is there a trend there where that business is taking a dive? Is it doing okay? For someone that's for PAYG employed person, someone that works for someone else, a lot of segments, they've had lenders have made reductions in what they'll account for as far as acceptable overtime. Is a really good example. So if you've got someone that works and 80% of their income is worked in overtime, that 80% is going to be shaded by a significant amount to account for the fact that the future is a little bit uncertain. By the same breath, other segments, if you've got someone that's working in healthcare, lenders are more willing to accept overtime now in that space because of the demand for that role. So they're definitely being more conservative, and it's actually taking a lot longer to get the money in the bank, isn't it? It's been a year that we've never seen before. A typical finance clause on a purchase for someone purchasing a property would be 14 to 21 days in a regular market, and generally speaking, if you submitted an application on a Monday, in best case, you generally have it picked up by Wednesday. A couple of days. Some lenders can do it quicker than that. Others will quite longer at the best of times. We've seen lenders push out this year as far as 40 business days. So looking at sort of 8 weeks before a lender will pick up an application and assess it. So knowing who's doing what as far as their turnaround times is certainly a big thing that we've seen become a critical factor in our ability to help our clients this year. So it's certainly been interesting times. We'll have to have a chat to you in 2021 and see if things have plateaued out a little bit. Here's hoping, Rachel. Wonderful. Thanks for your time today, Jesse. Well, so many regions across the state are experiencing significant growth in median house price and lots of interest in particular areas. One of those is the Meander Valley region. And tonight we're joined by Selena Lowe from Harcourt's Meander Valley. Thank you so much for joining us, Selena. Tell us about what's happening across your region from a real estate point of view.
So we've got quite a bit happening across our area at the moment. So we're very lucky. We have one of the largest franchise areas. Harcourt's Meander Valley covers from the fringe of Hadspen right through to Sassafras, and then we sort of go broader on either side of that. At the moment, we're seeing a lot of people wanting to purchase in Westbury and the Deloraine area. Small acreage is hugely popular, so similar to what Nick Hay mentioned about Northern Midlands last week, we're seeing people that saw Carrick as a commuter wanting to come that bit further out. Westbury, Delorane's not that far to go to Launceston, so instead of being out right in town, they want to be out of town, have that bit larger block and that lifestyle, and then head into work.
And Deloraine, it's obviously renowned for its artistic hub, and it's on the fringe with all the agriculture and business developments along those lines, with the Ashgrove development and the raspberry farm and strawberries growing in the valley as well. What are prices doing in Deloraine specifically?
So prices have been trending up over the course of the last couple of years. It's very similar in Westbury as well. So we had a little bit of a lull early last year. We were busy going into that COVID lockdown, and then post-COVID we've been busier again. So we're going from an average days on market of 60 to 90, where we could easily say 3 in 4 would have been interstate inquiries to purchase property in the area, and now we're looking at an average of about 14 days for our agency. The stats, RART stats say otherwise.
So now it all seems pretty exciting, and the fact that over the last 2 years it has grown. What's the expectation heading into 2021?
Busy, lots more sales. We certainly need the listings. We've had lots of quality come on, and I again, that's probably testament to the 14-day average turnaround that we've got. But heading into 2021, we don't see it slowing down.
It's wonderful. And as far as people in the community concerned, lots of other exciting investment in new businesses and things like that as well to generate positivity?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in terms of commercial property availability, we've only got the one available at the moment in the main street, and that's had quite keen interest of late as well, which is telltale of how busy we've been across the board. We're very fortunate in that we've got an economic corridor through here of primary production and tourism locations where people that jump off the boat, we're their first point of call. Anyone heading to the northwest, straight out of the airport, this is our first point of call as well. So they're getting to see Tassie for what it is and the beauty of it, which may be why people like to settle here.
Yeah, wonderful. You'll be very busy into the new year. Thank you so much for your time today, Selena.
Thank you.
Well, that's all we have time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week on Wednesday at 8 p.m. for your real estate show with Thanks to Harcourts.